to that moral argument of, this ostentatious, opulent 500 crore wedding, Sudhanshu Mittal, I mean, and I'm not saying this is just a BJP issue. I mean, Congress leaders also attended that wedding. At a time when people are queuing up for 2,500 bucks outside an ATM, 4,000 rupees to exchange at a bank, I mean, what sort of message is our political class sending, sir?
Don't blame the entire political class. This is obnoxious what they have done. And I don't think anybody can endorse it. Such opulence and such vulgar display of wealth is certainly not...
leaders from Congress, BJP, everywhere.
Why are you leaders attending? Why did Mr. Yadurappa go? No, I just want to ask you a question. If you think it's obnoxious, Mr. Yadurappa is a senior leader. Why couldn't he boycott the wedding?
No, that is Ajay Bose's point.
It's just a simple question.
That is Ajay Bose's point.
If you feel it's obnoxious,
then
why can't you tell Mr. Yadurappa not to go?
Yeah, Ajay Bose wants to know. Yeah.
Sir, let me tell you one thing. In this country, on social occasions where Congress leaders have marriages at home, you have prime ministers of BJP going. Or when it's vice versa. Do not mix two things together. Why people attend a social function irrespective of political allegiance are different. But the vulgar display of wealth in those weddings is certainly, which is appalling, sir, and must be condemned by all.
Sir, with all respect,
rightly, the tax authorities have already reached there.
With all due respect, Mr. Mittal, don't you think that when from the Prime Minister to the Finance Minister to every cabinet minister in this country is reaching out to the people and saying, please feel the pain for 50 days, do you not think it would perhaps have been apt for the BJP president, I say, Kailash Vijayvargiya went there for the wedding. I am saying, why could the BJP president have banned? Why is it impossible? Since banning is such a good word for the BJP, why could that not be done, sir?
Why just BJP?
Every party. I agree.
All the Congress leaders have gone there, the JDS leaders have gone there, CPI leaders have gone there.
Okay.
All kind of leaders have gone there. So don't make it
Manisha?
a party. No, don't make it a party. Yes, when there is such an ostentatious display of wealth, it was best suited for the political class to have kept away.
I'm glad that Sudhanshu Mittal is saying this clearly. Manisha, would that be your point as well, that every politician, whether it's from the BJP or Congress, who went and attended that wedding, actually has gone against the very principle that the ruling class wants the people of this country to follow?
Well,
I'm really beginning to feel insulted today as an ordinary citizen.
And we are revolving around the marriage, we are revolving
for
around
the simple reason.
The Neta's salaries, we are revolving around many other things.
You're not looking at policy, we're looking at policy as well. But
my party,
I am an ordinary citizen, I'm really beginning to feel insulted today as an ordinary citizen.
Of demonetization,
because what is going on
because
is
of the
that
farmers,
everyone expects us,
the Jilla Parishad
everyone
banks
expects the people of this country
not allowed
to feel
to take
for the larger
currency.
cause.
And that is what we are fighting for.
That's a common refrain. Everyone wants to do that.
But why?
But when it comes to asking the political class to follow the same diktat, then the rules are different.
No, but that's an unfair.
How is that unfair? How is that unfair?
What is that the political class has done which is different from anybody else?
No, Sudhanshu Mittal, one second.
4,500 rupees.
No, can I put this on the table, please?
You're also withdrawing only 24,000 rupees. There is a difference.
Fine, you made a point.
The political class has.
Can I just put...
Again, don't trivialize.
No, can I just put this? The reason Bhupen asked this... Wait. The reason Bhupen asked this is because everybody knows the fundamental fountainhead of black money in this country is political party funding. I want to put out these figures. This is from the 2014 general elections, okay? The amount of cash that was spent by the two major national parties, the BJP and the Congress. The BJP spent 224 crores in cash. The Congress party spent 98 crores in cash. When the Prime Minister says go from cash to cashless, from paper to plastic, why don't the same rules apply to parties? I want both Sushmita Dev as well as to Sudhanshu Mittal to respond to that. Nobody's talking about that.
That is what the Prime Minister himself has said yesterday. He says we must look at state funding. We have to strike at the root of all this. That, say, here is a man who's not looking at political consequences. Here's a man who's not looking at the gains and losses. He says, Akela hi chalata zanibe manzil.
No, so why can't the BJP? Why can't the BJP, Mr. Mittal? Mr. Mittal, why can't the BJP come out and say we will not accept any more cash donation?
We shall be seeing what happens in future.
Why can't the Congress party come out and say we won't accept any more cash donation?
No, you have heard the Prime Minister say this is just the beginning. Let me assure you, Wait for the days to come. So many things are going to happen. You know, what has happened till date is what was today.
Sushmita, can I ask you that? Can I ask you that? By the way, Manisha Kayande will also want to know this, that the Shiv Sena spent in cash 19 crore rupees in the 2014 general elections. My point is simply this. ADR has put out report after report that once you clean up political party funding, Sushmita Dev, why are political parties still accepting donations in cash? Why are they still spending in cash for elections?
I would like to answer this question.
I completely agree. I'll come to you. Yeah, Sushmita first.
To eliminate.
So when the Prime Minister tries to correct the situation, you have everybody crying
in an economy like ours is a reality.
Okay.
Mr. Mittal, let me talk. You've had your chance. All I'm saying, the use of cash in our economy, whether it's in the form of political donations, whether it's in a rural economy, it is a reality. Now, if you want to truly eliminate these ways, it can't happen overnight. You cannot turn an economy which is dependent on cash transaction to such a great extent to a cashless economy overnight.
No, but
that's where Prime Minister Modi's policy is failing.
It should be white money, it should not be black money. So do not confuse the two issues. Cash is different than black money. There's a component in this cash economy which is illegitimate money.
Black money is not parked in cash. Black money is parked in shares. Black money is parked in property. Black money is parked in jewelry.
What the reality is.
I mean, get your facts straight.
Okay, Manisha Kayande also to respond to that. Political parties spending in cash when you want the people to go cashless.
Just a couple of months ago, that Shiv Sena was the only party which has got a transparent transaction in the election, in the recent elections also. I would not remember which newspaper it was, but it was in a daily, leading English daily, which said that Shiv Sena has the most transparent transactions over the years.
I'm quoting 2014 general election figures, 19 crores in cash.
And this was just 2 months ago.
Can I go back to Jaggi, please?
Are you going to stop?
Can I go back to Jaggi, please?
Is this going to strike at the root of black money? Is it going to strike at the root of
Mr. Mittal, we've heard you. We've heard you.
Mr.
Jaganathan,
and
how will you judge?
By this strike.
Okay, Mr. Mittal, I've heard you. I've heard you, Mr. Mittal.
Of corruption. And why should you be unnerved about it?
Mr. Jaganathan, how will you
that cash, and I totally agree, whoever panelist made this point, that cash in politics, cash in agriculture, cash in all these things is not something which you can just disappear overnight. Certainly, there are ways and means to tackle this on a systematic, sustained basis. But Bhupen, the problem here is that along with it, if you actually choke off cash, then what you might be doing is trying to cure a patient from malaria. You may end up giving that patient cancer, in which case you land up with a much bigger problem.
Sudhanshu,
and I think that that is the real danger.
You're giving us cancer, Sudhanshu.
And we don't know how this is going to play out.
All status quoists who do not like a bold step which has been taken to
we have to examine that bold step.
Allow me to finish.
We have to examine that bold step. Look at the implications.
You have no idea what is going to happen tomorrow. You have no idea what other measures are going to take place. So please, before you be preemptive about what is going to happen, give it a break.
No, one sec. The point that he's making, one sec, Mr. Mittal, the point that he's making, and I want both Mr. Vasudev, wait, none of us is being status quo. One sec.
Let him respond.
I want to bring in both CM Vasudev as well as R. Jagannathan, that in the medium to long term, the point that Ajoy Bose is making is this: you are choking demand. When you're cutting off 86% of your liquidity, 86% of your cash circulation, isn't it a realistic fear that you're choking demand, at least in the medium term? One sec, my question is to CM Vasudev, please.
What a frivolous argument you are propounding. Tell me how much of it will come back in 2 months' time.
Wait. Let him answer. The question is not to you.
Don't talk something which you do not understand.
The question is not to you, sir. Why are you talking? The question is not to you.
Sir, why are you putting a question which is not there?
Certainly there is going to be a major demand compression during this period because demand is being choked, and that is going to affect the performance of the economy.
BJP, Congress, Samajwadi Party, all parties together. Do you really believe this crackdown against black money will be in a position to bring about some kind of a change in the political functioning of these parties?
No, see, I think when it comes to the basic common sensitivity of people, I think our politicians completely lack it, just like some of our big business lacks it. I think that shamelessness of flaunting power, I think is very much intrinsic to our political culture and our top level business and upper middle class culture. That is completely unpardonable, but that exists. But as far as the demonetization is concerned, I can see a lot of collateral advantage, which Vasudev also mentioned. I think after a short compression and in the next around 4 to 6 weeks, where you will see a decline in GDP growth, after that you will have a very sharp rebound because the fundamentals of the economy are fine. Consumption demand is not going down, interest rates are going to come down, the tax revenues are going to go up. And I think the poor people will also benefit because some of the extra money will come back to them in some form. So I think there is a benefit. I think the pain is there.
I think that's the point being made by the BJP repeatedly.
They will also benefit from it. You see, already wheat prices have been raised.
It's the critics and the nervous must understand this big picture.
Okay, Sudhanshu, Mittal and the rest of our panelists, thank you so much for joining us on our special edition of India at 9. The only thing one can say in conclusion is this, that maybe there is some merit in what is being suggested by the government, because I also am unwilling to accept that the government would have come so far on this particular move without thinking through what will happen 3 to 6 months. Maybe there is some merit when the Prime Minister says that be ready for some short-term pain to witness some long-term gain. Only problem before the government is that with the death of so many people, all ostensibly due to standing in long queues outside ATMs, how will the political part of this move be managed? I think that's a real big problem, Zaka.
All right, and I guess it'll have a bearing. It'll have a bearing in the UP elections, in the Punjab elections as well. I want to thank the panel, and as always, the final word will be to our in-house cartoonist Neelab. This is his take on the whole demonetization. Thanks for tuning in to this special edition of India at 9.